My mom used to tell me all the time, she said, sometimes, if you just a little bit too high, get a little too full of yourself, you must be brought down. You will be taught a fucking lesson. And I'm sitting there, not me, shit. You know, she was like, I don't care how bad you are, son. There's somebody else out there that's a little bit better. I said, no, hell no. Mama, somebody got to be the bad.
Niggas mean money, and I done seen something. Come from any means, and now I'm dreaming. Niggas mean money, and I done seen something. Come from any means, and now I'm dreaming. Niggas mean money, getting checked off the grip. Dipping out of state, I got enough to check to come get. Talking crazy, then I gotta put a check on your arm. Spanish nigga nice with it, he a chef at the arm. Niggas talking crazy cause they not respecting their jaw. Said this before, so you know I ain't playing at all. Cali breeze, smoking trees when I stay out with arm. Putting six up in your body, start to feel like LeBron. Niggas keep fighting, you see it in the left in his form. I'm playing chess, niggas like pawns. Check fuck with the niggas mean mugging, not the same.
Yeah, we are live. Finally, 10 viewers. Good evening, everyone. Joey Blaze, live again. What a weekend of flag football. Right, Ross?
Yes, sir.
So, I gotta ask, how was your weekend, Ross?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I watched some flag football on Saturday.
Yeah?
Yes, I did.
Heck yeah, man. That's the best way to spend a Saturday. That's my plan for the next 2 Saturdays. Be watching a lot of flag football. I'm pretty stoked for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, Boone, how was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing.
Oh, yeah?
3 in a row.
3 in a row?
3 in a row. Felt good.
If I can leave this group chat real quick.
3 in a row.
3 in a row, man.
3 in a row.
I think we're sitting 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
That is impressive. The dynasty is complete. And when you take a look at the teams you've beaten in this run, Ruckus, Broad X, X-Dogs, 3 of the top teams outside of you guys in this last couple of years.
Yeah.
There's been no BS to this run. You've beaten just about everybody.
Yeah, we beat, like I said, we beat Ruckus first. Knocked off the Washington County all-time team and Broad Axe over and over.
And that was with Kevin Clancy, too.
Yeah.
And then you finished it out by defeating the X-Dogs in the last championship game. Congratulations on that victory. The final score of that one we'll get to in a moment. But first, let's talk about the B bracket championship. That was Program versus the Spartans, a 17-14 program victory. Fellas, your impressions? Starting with you, Boone.
I would say Program, they just played harder the whole game. They played harder. The D-line wore the O-line down for the Spartans. Come third and fourth quarter, they couldn't block Program's D-line. Changed the whole game.
Yeah, and it was clear as it went along. They just couldn't hang with them, and suddenly the deep pass that Keenan Pooler relies on a lot just was not there at all for them.
Yeah, he didn't have the time. So when you go deep, you need 3 to 5 seconds. And Program was they was getting in there instantly. So it makes the quarterback change everything he's doing. Keenan did not change his offense. He went the same jet sweep. I think we rewatched it all but 3 plays the whole second half. Stayed in the same formation, the same play. It worked in the first half, but eventually you got to be more dynamic. You got to be able to do more things than just one. Like you said, other than the deep ball, when the deep ball is not working, what else can your game plan go to? And they didn't show they could do anything else.
Yeah, And that really affected the Spartans at the end of the day, and that really hurt them because they were up 14-3 at one point in this game. They were dominating. And after that interception where what was it? I can't remember who it was who picked off Ant Smith, but Carrascola was the receiver on the play.
Right.
After that pick, it seemed like it was going to be Spartans' game to win.
They could have ran away with it.
Easily.
I mean-
It was 14-3 at that point.
Right.
That's a sign. How do you not run away with that victory?
They just, like I said, they stayed in the same formation. So when you stay in the same formation, running the same plays over and over, program, their defensive players is the best thing about their team. So they played in the league for a while. And if you keep showing me something, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
They're going to figure it out, and they stopped them. And Keenan didn't do nothing else. He stayed in, like I said, it was the same 3 plays the whole game.
I mean, he didn't take what the defense gave him.
Right. Yeah. After
Mhm.
watching the film, I mean, like you said,
jet sweep.
Yeah.
To Jones. You had slants underneath at some point.
well, yeah, but they ran the same routes,
Yeah.
trees, like we was talking about when we watched it. It was curl. So they do that jet sweep, and that opposite receiver was one-on-one, and they kept running him on a curl or a fly. They never once, like you said, did the slant, attack the middle of the field out of it. It was just the same play over and over, and the program's too good, and they figured it out and shut it down the whole second half.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, program first championship they've had. B bracket 1 it is. You can't really say much about it, but it's a step for them forward. Considering where they've been this season, it could have ended a lot worse. They could have gone one and done. And then we'd be talking about where they are right now. Instead, they got a trophy, which you can use it for recruiting purposes. And we'll get to what this win means for them going forward when we get to the final power rankings. As we give a lot of shout out in this game, if anything, to one Ant Smith and what he has done for this program offense these last 3 weeks.
He sounds plays.
He really does. Like that play where he's running in a circle in that game and then throws the touchdown to Gary Little is arguably one of the best plays I've seen all year.
Side note, check that footage. Because that was some good footage by Joey Blaze.
That is excellent footage.
360
Yeah,
view.
360.
The 360.
We just
Yeah,
watched
it's
it.
different.
It was good shit.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he didn't score on that play, Joe.
He
He got
didn't
pulled
score.
into 2, and
You got pulled
He
into
ran-
two? Oh,
he
you're
ran
right.
it.
You're right.
He
You're right.
ran it.
You're right. I was misremembering it. But either way, that
Had
play
it
was
been touchdown,
phenomenal.
would have been that much better.
It would have
still
been.
Damn
But
good
the
play.
fact that he managed to escape that pressure
Yeah.
and get the ball off and somehow contact Gary Little down the field,
Yeah.
impressive play by Ant Smith.
But you know, Ant came into the week. I mean, this dude was watching film. He started on Monday from what he was telling us.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do if you want to win, if you want to improve.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about Ant, but he's trying to get better.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of things that other players in this league already think they're too good to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this dude
Right.
is studying, trying to get better, and it showed. I mean, he was the best player on the field in that game.
He is a student of the game. He really loves the game of
Him and
flag
that wide
football.
receiver, I don't know his name. He wears the hat on the hoodie.
David Maxwell.
Okay, yeah, he was tough. that game.
Well, he made 2 catches on the sideline, keeping his toes in bounds on 3rd and
Mhm.
longs that were
Yeah.
huge.
He plays that position. He plays that position very well whenever he's able to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
One of the more underrated guys on that program team. Overall, however, 17-14, the result here. Big shout out to the program for winning the B bracket. We'll see what this means for them going forward. But for now, let's turn our attention to the main course. I am talking about the A bracket championship, where ADR, the three-peat, is complete.
Repeat. Finally.
35-14 this time over the X-Dogs is your final. And this game, actually early on, seemed like it was not going to go in that direction. X-Dogs were up. It was 14-7 in the second quarter until the game-changing play down in the red zone, 4th and goal. You remember, Boone.
Yeah.
The quick play across the middle where you managed to find... Who was it?
Mouse.
Refresh my memory. Was it Mouse?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it was Mayo on the slant. Right?
Was it Mayo?
No,
One of his own?
Mayo got the one to take the lead. Mouse got the one right before the half on the I went trips.
Yeah.
I put Mouse as the middle guy on the trips. They had been pressing right there, so I just ran a seam with a slant under it. And Both guys went with the seams, slant wide open, right before the half. Plus, we got the ball back. Huge play.
Yeah. A huge play indeed, and that was the turning point of the game. After that, ADR never let up, outscoring the X-Dogs the rest of the way, 21-0, en route to a 35-14 victory. An absolutely dominant performance in that second half.
Yeah.
Boone, you managed to pick apart a very highly touted X-Dogs defense that was number one in scoring D all year,
Yeah.
but did not play like that in the championship game, especially once they lost Chile in the third quarter. They just seemed like they weren't the same defense. But at the end of the day, you were already up at that point. It was 28. You had figured out the scheme. And in the end, it was all ADR once again. Cannon, your impressions?
I mean, losing Chile's a big part, but Boone's getting the ball out of his hands fast.
He is. And that's one of the unique
was
facts
the
of Boone's
difference.
game is how
Right.
quickly they get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, we actually changed that on the fly because we came out thinking those
He's gonna go
guys.
downfield.
Yeah, well, I was thinking I was going to go downfield because what they normally play, that cover three, their slot guys are pressed tight to the slot DB or slot receivers, and they press up. So I thought we'd be able to go deep. They came out, first drive threw us off a little bit. They had everybody back, and then eventually we just changed our whole game plan. All the receivers came back to me. It's like, hey, we got anything
Drags.
underneath?
Everything underneath. So
Yep.
Once we use drags, like that threw off the game plan because we haven't used that all season.
Yeah, I just did double
Most part.
drags.
Like,
Chile's debating the point. He said it was 14-14 when he went down.
I thought it was 21-14 when he
It
went
was
down.
somewhere in
the
that
second half.
ballpark. It's been a while.
And then he got
in the
hurt.
second half. And we scored the first drive of the second half.
Either way, Chile's a monster.
Either way.
I give that guy all the credit in the
Rest
world
up.
for his season.
Rest up.
It was
He played hard.
Chile had an amazing season.
He really did.
That's MVP
So-
caliber right there.
Yeah.
And that was one thing I said before the season started was that Chile just adds a whole other dimension to that X-Dogs defense. And it came out and showed this year in a big way.
I mean, realistically, that D line with Kinsler, Brady, and Chile, that would be one of the best D lines in the nation on any team.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it in a county league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just, credit to them guys. They're all monsters. They're all very good. But we had a better game plan after the first quarter, and they couldn't stop it.
Yeah. And that's something that as the game went along, and especially you talk about the speed advantage you guys had over them.
Yeah.
I feel like as the game went on, once the turnovers started mounting up for the X-Dogs, it was just too hard to come back from.
Yeah.
You can't expect the defense to stay on the field when the offense is driving down on them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Normally, ADR, we score pretty quick. We changed our game plan up, and we just did, 7, 8, 10, 12 play drives. And if guys are going both ways, all their monsters were going both ways. Brady, Judd, Chile, Kinsler, all going
Judd
both
played
ways.
wide receiver at one point.
Right, and he was playing some tight end. So once you make those guys play both ways, rushing, and I'm 15 yards back, so now they're running 15, 18-yard sprints every play. It's going to wear you down. And our game plan worked.
Yeah. And so congratulations to ADR. The three-peat is complete. Gentlemen, what's the next step for you guys? Or is there going to be an ADR in 2020? What is the future of Adrenaline Rush in terms of this league?
Right now, as of now, spring is questionable. We're going to end up headed to the PFFL for an 8-man league in Virginia Beach is our goal. We're going to talk to the league to see if, they can work around our schedule and stuff like that. We love to be in it. So hopefully they can work with our schedule.
And we would love to have you back in it. I think it's best for this league ADR stays in it because it does give everybody that bump they need.
Yeah.
You guys are a talented A-bracket team. You go out there and play in the circuit. You have the experience, and that's something that can be very valuable to a lot of guys in county who aren't accustomed to leaving the area.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of learning the game itself. So hopefully we'll get to see ADR in 2020. Could be a 4-peat, who knows? It's hard to imagine a league without you guys. That's for certain.
Yeah, I feel like we we're one of the staple teams. I feel like we've been here forever, and we've only been here for not even 2 years.
I
That is
know.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
I feel,
It does feel like
Aren't y'all
that.
tired of talking about us?
Yeah. I mean, realistically though, I mean, we've met a lot of people out there. I got a lot of
Yeah.
friends from this league now. Like,
Those are
I
facts.
feel like I've known a lot of these guys for 10, 12, 15 years, and we've
Yeah.
and it's only been a couple years. So, but you know, I want to give a shout out to all our players, man. Them guys, we had a rough season, and those guys kept coming back, showing up. Huge congrats to the 7 people that we had show up to play the X Dogs. I mean, that's
Yes.
that's a real that's
Right.
that's teammates right there, man.
Yeah.
They show up and knowing that they're gonna take that beating like that.
They didn't complain. They didn't like
Yeah,
kick our back in and say
Just
we
had to
left
show
them
up.
because we didn't play that game.
Yeah.
They held it down.
Yep,
So
they
we say,
just-
y'all,
posted in our group, hey, we went out and played hard, and dude, that's all you can ask for out of teammates, and
yeah, gotta give them credit, James. All
yeah,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah, these are players that you don't really hear about. You don't really hear about these players, but they make a big difference. They show up every week.
Yeah.
They put everything out there. They'll play offense. They'll play defense. They'll take a beat and try to snap the ball. They'll do whatever.
Well,
So-
everybody knows Mouse, Cannon, Mayo, those guys like that, but sometimes the players unknown are like Joseph, who comes out in the championship game and probably had 70 yards and a touchdown
Yeah, we got
in the championship game playing
Tim's
receiver.
First year.
Tim's
he
first
came
year,
out
we had-
and he's a Lance in the making. I feel
Yeah.
like.
He has potential.
Yeah, he has potential. As long
He
as
has
he sticks with
potential
it and
for
works
it.
hard, he has potential. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we got a lot
Yeah.
of players.
So, I mean, we're only getting better. Like I said, we plan on coming back, but I know how this league is with trying to work with people's schedules and stuff like that. So, you know, our goal is to be here. Like I said, I consider all y'all guys my friends. I mean, me, myself, Cannon, we go to the field and have beers. We hang out all day.
Yup.
You know, it's like a family ship. You know, part of a family. So, hopefully, we're back.
I hope so as well. It just would not feel right without ADR being in there.
Right.
And truthfully, it's unfair that if you guys wouldn't have a chance to defend your title.
Yeah.
It's only right you come back and defend it once more. See if anybody can change
If that's the case,
anything.
Joey, we're never leaving.
Never leave it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, maybe you all can
Just gotta
become the
throw
new
that out
Broad
there.
Axe for your 20-plus-year-old franchise still in the league. 30 years from now, it could be an ADR still in here dominating some way or another.
Yeah, but we better start recruiting then, because my old ass ain't gonna make it 20 years. I mean, I can give y'all a couple more good years, and that'd be about it for
We
me.
gotta push you to the game.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's next one?
Well, the next thing was over the weekend, another championship was played as the Keystone Flag Football League finished up their season. It was the Killer Bees over the Gators in that rivalry game, and then it was Misfits over Spartans, and then the Gators beat the Spartans, and then, well, surprise, surprise, guess who won the championship?
Yeah, we.
All Misfits. 42-0.
Yeah.
As they went up there and just absolutely annihilated the Keystone Flag Football League. You know, it would have been nice if we could have seen what they could have done in the Washington County Flag Football League.
Yeah. They should have been in our league. I mean, like I said, like I just talked about, we got to get Washington County teams. We have to make way to get some of these teams. If we want teams to get better and you want players to get better, you need to play better people. So that means we need to get more teams in this league. And voting Misfits out at the, you know, not letting them be a part of this year's Washington County is, I mean, that's
We could have
crazy.
made it work.
Yeah. But the good news is, I'm hearing a lot of rumors about teams joining our league next season. And a couple of them are Keystone teams coming down here.
Trying to get some bump up.
They're trying. You know, I'll give them some props. They're trying. We'll see how they handle it.
I would like to see. I would like to see that happen. I would like to see that happen.
I've
I
heard
would too.
two
man. That's
teams that are coming down. I've heard Bees and I've heard Immortals.
B should have
Okay.
been came. That's the only team that I've heard out of KFFL for the most part. I've heard Gators throughout the grapevine, but Bees is the one
Yeah.
that sticks.
Yeah, well, they're
What do you think of Keystone?
they're growing a lot. They've
It
certainly.
might be the jerseys. Who knows?
Yeah, they got
Yeah, they definitely got the
jerseys.
jerseys.
They
Yeah,
got the jerseys.
they got sponsorship too. They got something they could possibly build up there. It's just they got to get better, which
Right.
they have gotten a lot better since the last time I saw you guys play them back in 2018
Oh, that's bad.
when that was ADR in Gettysburg
Yeah,
versus.
Man, we
Don't bring that
discussed
game up. That's Cannon's
Oh,
game.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We don't do
That's bad juju bringing that
that.
up.
Word. I'm not
Yeah.
playing this week.
But if they come down, man.
I do owe y'all an ass whooping though.
Yeah. If they come down, they're definitely the bottom tier teams, though.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. I don't see. I mean, they're not going to beat Broadax. If TJ's with Ruckus, they're not going to beat Ruckus. They're not going to beat ADR.
TJ, side note, my fault. Side note, don't bring in another team. Play with Ruckus, please. Stick with Ruckus. Y'all got something going on.
Stick,
with
build,
them.
build what you're doing.
Stick with them.
You think that's the best course for both sides? 'Cause, I mean, I thought about it.
You got a
They
starting
did-
position, and there's a team that's already established. You
Yeah.
just got to add on.
Yeah.
I agree with
I mean,
that. For what it's worth,
yeah,
I agree with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
you keep bouncing from team to team. Nobody's gonna like really see what you can bring to the table because every team you're playing a new position. Damn it.
New,
Or
yeah,
just a new role, it's a
everything's
new
right.
style. Like you're never seen. Just like
Well, you're never going to be able to build and grow.
yeah, you're not gonna get a identity exactly. Like in a way,
And then
you could ball, but you need.
TJ played his ass off this season.
Yeah,
He really did.
and that's why you don't need to
He
go
did.
somewhere else. Stay with that team.
Him going to Ruckus, I thought was a
was a
great
good move.
idea.
Yeah.
I really did.
And when
Yeah.
you think about it, before he was
Stick
with
with it.
Ruckus, he was playing for the Red Knights, and he had their offense putting up points early on in
Right.
the season.
Oh, he's a game changer.
He really is.
But you can't build anything if you're not there long enough to build it.
Yeah, just one and done ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have another team. You're gonna have to end up starting your own team.
Well, and
If you can
if you
start
do
your
that,
own team, you might as well just bring what you can bring to that. To
bring
that
what
team.
you can bring to Ruckus. Keep it together.
Yeah.
You know they gave him the reins on offense. Let him
Yeah.
do what he needed to do. Whatever it was, they was down with it 100%. So I agree. Stay there. Build.
With that said,
What? Yeah. With that said,
the Warriors need a quarterback as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let Jacob Mitchell.
with that said, let's get to the final
The recruit.
Let's get down to the final
Moving on.
power rankings.
There we go.
Starting at number 9, can we have a moment of silence in memory of the Red Knights? All they got, all they need. We're just going to leave it there. Not much to say about them anymore. This is
Yeah.
really it.
I hope their guys mix throughout the league.
I
I
hope
hope
so,
they
too.
just don't stop playing. I hope teams pick them up. I mean, a lot of teams. need
Markel
depth.
Simpkins,
Yeah, Mr. Facebook himself, right?
Chad Wilson,
AKA the
Chad
Rocky.
Wilson, Michael Meese, Gary Thomas, and the other linemen too are a big package deal right now in free agency.
Yes, they
Yep.
are.
I tell you, it's any team lacking an offensive line.
With
There you
that
go.
said, the
There's your
Warriors
answer.
will always take offensive linemen.
You know, you can take anybody. Listen though, them boys, whatever their names are, don't get it wrong. So don't get mad because I don't know your name, but come holler at us. We can use some offensive linemen.
Nah, you
Yeah.
know anyway.
I feel like Ross is
We
like
can use
the
him.
TV timeout. He's the commercial break to throw his Warrior ads out there in his recruitment.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He's like, Joe, yeah, you can use my house, but every 15 minutes I get 30 seconds to recruit.
You know what?
You just gave me a great
It's part of the
idea.
Yeah.
contract. It's a contract.
Part of the contract. You can use my house and my Wi-Fi, but
You just gave me a great idea.
every 15
but-
minutes I get 30 seconds to
Something
recruit.
very simple where I can just put it on my phone.
Yeah,
Put it in front of
there
his
you go.
phone. Where's that?
Warriors ad. I bring a case of beer to every game.
Oh, man.
See?
Consider it done. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
You should
there
just
it
start
is.
recruiting for people like Chili recruits for the Navy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he be on it.
Chill be on it.
Chili be on it.
I need a promoter like that for the music.
Yeah.
I need some-
Chili is a lifetime recruiter, though. That's what he does. That's his
Yeah.
job, so he is good at it.
Yeah. So Knights are number 9. Number 8, Brunswick Railroaders. The good news is this was their best team ever. by far.
They made a lot of noise this year.
They really did.
They finished 8th.
8th.
Their,
That's the shocker.
their best year, and they
They're-
finished
8th.
8th. Damn. They have players though. I mean,
They
their
really do.
O-line,
They're a very talented football team.
shit.
On terms of what they got in the trenches
Right.
and what terms of what they got in certain skill positions. You talk about Timmy Privet,
Yeah.
Eric Jones, for
Yeah.
instance. Those guys have gotten it done from on the offensive side of the ball for them. Ian Fisher really emerged this year.
Yeah, he played well.
Talk about somebody who just a few years ago was dead in the water playing quarterback for the program,
Yeah.
getting not any traction at all in this league, turns into one of the better quarterbacks, and sadly, this was it for Ian Fisher.
Hmm.
He goes out losing that game on that last play of the game by being sacked. He will not return next season.
Yeah, he got there that ball.
What you mean he won't return next season?
Ian Fisher will not be back. He is going to be apparently not being around. He's going to be doing some other things outside of football.
Well, shit. Hopefully,
Gotcha.
congrats on whatever he's doing. Because obviously, if he's going away, he's doing better for his life. Yeah,
I'll tell you, he was a classmate of mine at UMUC. Very smart man, very intelligent young man.
Good for him, man. Congratulations. Because like I said, he's bettering off his family and
Like you
life.
said.
But
Good for
replacing him though, a guy who we saw a very quick glimpse of last fall, a guy you know well, Joe
Yeah.
Rummel.
Yeah, he's a Winchester. He's an Adrenaline Rush flag football member out of Winchester. He plays in our league down there. He's a good player. It was sad what happened to him because he was, if I'm not mistaken, they were 7-7 when he played with the Spartans. They were 7-7 against Broadax that day.
Yeah,
He was running down
You
the
mean Railroaders.
sideline. Railroaders.
yeah.
And he was running down the sideline, and I think he tore his ACL or his meniscus. I can't remember what he
Blew
did.
out his ACL.
His ACL. So
Very tragic.
He was
Yeah.
my quarterback in 8, man. At one point.
Was he?
Yeah. For the shot.
So do we feel like Brunswick with Rummel at quarterback next season could be better?
It can be because you get to see, he gets to see the field from the sideline.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame. Like when you're playing and then you get to watch it for a whole year, you pick up your IQ, definitely.
well,
He's a good quarterback.
Joe is a flag quarterback. So Ian is probably, from what I hear, he's a really good pro quarterback and semi-pro quarterback. The flag football quarterbacking is different. The play's different. The style is different.
Speed.
And Joe Rummel, he can make you miss in the pocket to where Ian's a statue. If you get pressure on him, he's not going to make the one guy miss. He's either going to take the sack or just launch it downfield. Joe can actually create plays within a play. It don't have to be designed. So if a play breaks down, Joe can make somebody miss, get out of the pocket, run, and create a second play inside of a play, which is all flag football
This
is.
shows you about his athleticism. Brunswick had him at safety when they played us.
Yeah.
They had him
Yeah.
at safety
So I'm looking forward to him coming back. I'm
And
glad
I
he's
quote,
healthy.
because I was very frustrated.
I mean, they have.
Right.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Do
They
they
had
have? Does Brunswick
Yeah.
have the best O-line in the league?
Quarterback is fine for him.
Do you think they do?
I mean, if you
I
got
think it's up there.
Mangle,
Nick Madel.
Nick Madel, who everybody considers one of the best, and then you have a guy that played at
Pitt, Aaron Reese.
Pitt. So if your two tackles are two of the top 3 in the whole league, realistically, you just played the whole season with the best line in the league.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Potentially. I mean,
Could you argue Chase Powell in the middle has been a weakness at times, though?
yeah, but if you got those bookends,
Yeah, that is true.
you got those
against the edge
bookends, you
rushers.
got all day. I mean, shit. So what does Brunswick need then? So if you already have a monster O-line, your quarterback this year was supposed to be really good, and you finished 8th. What do they need? I'm just saying because I call shit saying they need skill guys.
Yeah.
But if you're
Yeah.
telling me that your quarterback is all world and your O-line is one of the best in the league, what's missing?
True.
Skill guys, right? I mean, it's
We're not even talking about defense yet.
yeah. So if your O line is best in the league and your quarterback's really good, what are you missing?
Skill guys, most particularly on that defensive side, I want to go with. I think the
Okay.
offensive side they do fine with.
What do they average? How many points a game they average?
15, but the league average this year was pretty low when you look at it. Remember, the highest this year was only 22. We had a very down year for offense overall for this league. And Brunswick happened to have a high up year for it.
Okay.
That's something I took away out of this season was Brunswick was able to put up points when most teams were
Well,
struggling.
realistically, all right. So if you go, me as a quarterback, when I go into a game, my goal is 20, right?
20 is a good.
If
is
you
the
score
best- is a good
20,
goal.
you're going to win the game.
Yeah,
And they're at 14 or 15.
but the league average was 22 at the highest. I mean, the
Yeah.
highest overall was 22 by X Dogs. If you do the league
Okay.
average, it was probably about, I'd say, closer to 16, 17. It was
Okay.
it was one of those kind of seasons.
All right, so they were right average on offense.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
Was their defense that bad?
I want to say, do I even have the stats still? Actually,
Ross, was their defense bad?
I got it. Their
Who's
defense surrendered 19 points per game. Offense put up 15.
Your common lifetime arch enemy. Was their defense bad?
I got it up here, Boone.
What is it?
Surrender.
What is it?
It was 19.875 points per game surrendered.
All right, so your defense is holding on to 19. You're supposed to score 20 to win.
Just falling short.
So, realistically,
But they did have a lot of close games. They were a
yeah,
team.
they did.
They were
They
a team who lost a lot of games by less than 7 points.
And they've improved so much. Them guys.
But
They've all gotten better.
yeah.
They've all gotten better
They
at
learned
flag
this-
football.
they have learned
From
this
semi-pro guys to flag, they all got better since I've seen them over the last couple of years, and that's good for them because that shows they're actually working hard, practicing, and trying to get better.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Brunswick, as time will get on, will get better. I feel like next
Right.
season could be interesting to watch out for. I feel like Rummel could add a whole new dimension to that offense. We'll see, though.
Right.
It's hard to tell what could change between now and next spring.
Right.
Moving on to number 7 right now, the Tri-State Spartans, the best secondary in the league, self-proclaimed,
Best secondary in the league.
surrendering 18.875 points per game.
Now, is this playoffs included?
Nah, we don't do playoffs. It's regular season.
But see, regular season don't really count because you got guys missing.
Yo,
Family.
okay.
No, realistically, how many
No.
people can
I
play
think
every
that
game?
I think they both deserve a separate thing. I think you
Right.
add
Well,
regular
most stats
season
are
on
different.
one,
Right.
and then add playoffs in at
You only
the
play
end.
2
kind of
games,
deal.
so some
Right.
players you end up
I get it.
shining in championship, but you ain't do shit all year.
It's just 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that can happen in pro
Right.
sports too.
But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is-
remember Malcolm
Right,
Smith
I
won a
think
Super Bowl
in
MVP.
pro sports it should be that way too. You have the regular season.
They do have the regular season
as its
MVP.
one thing, and then
Yeah.
add playoffs in at the end, kind of deal.
That's what.
Not that they should be totally
But-
separate.
But when we take a look at the full body of work, let's look at the full body of work
Right.
that the
They
Spartans
only
did
get
this
one
year.
right.
There's only
They
2
managed to
parties
finish
get 2
7th.
games.
They started
Right.
out really hot on the gate. They won that
They
game
did.
against the Knights. They looked really good to start. And then they struggled with simple concepts like onside kicks.
Just kick the damn ball.
Kick the damn ball.
How many times do we tell them that this year? It's at least 3 games, right?
Yeah. Where they
That's
could've-
not exaggerating, Emma. That's 3. At least.
I want to
3
say
games.
there were 2 or 3 games where they could have won late with the onside kick too. Broadax and program.
Yeah. Okay.
The Ruckus game.
What
What
still
happened?
got to kick off?
You look at other games. Like
You can't give them 1st and 5. You still got to kick off.
You got, and that's what happened in the program and Broadax was they gave him 1st and 5 instead, and
Yeah.
program and Broadax just said, okay, 5 yards, that's nothing.
They had a good season. I mean, you
They
got to
did.
think they were. But that's what I was saying between regular season. Now, because they had a lot of guys missing throughout the season, it's hard when they travel. They're kind of like ADR. Them guys are traveling over an hour. So there are going to be weeks where you're not going to have all your guys. But overall, they play really well. Can Don keep the team together?
That is another question. We'll see how that
For a
goes
new
in
team,
the
they
offseason.
also had a lot of players show up per game.
They did.
Yeah.
They were very motivated. That was one thing about the Spartans that stood out to me was how motivated they were to win
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, I like their energy. They stretched together. They warmed up together. We can't even get our team to do that. So that's pretty damn impressive for them to be a new team, to come out, get there early,
Yeah.
warm up together. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great team building. Like, I mean, if he could keep that group together, I mean, that looks good for them going forward. That's huge.
Spice it up a little bit on offense.
Spice it, yeah. They definitely
Spice
have
it
to.
up.
That's a good call. Spice it up. They
Spice
definitely
it
got
up.
to. do
And
other
that's what
things.
killed them in the championship game. You consider
Lost
how
it for
often
'em.
they ran that sweep?
Spice
That's
it
sweet.
up.
Whole game.
Because
Yeah.
everybody's running like a college offense, like in a way. It's always jet sweeps.
But jet sweep and
runs
flag,
and
you know how hard that
Doesn't
is
work.
because Ross, you're a tackle. Can you block that D end on a jet sweep?
Depends on who it is, but most of the time, no. Depends on where they line up too. If they start run, especially as many times they ran it.
Yeah.
A good DN's gonna start reading that and line up outside. Like, what the
Right.
hell you want me to do?
So
It's
what
gonna
do
take him out
you?
to play early.
What you
Yeah,
want me to
Especially
do?
you got a
Well,
quarterback
he's just
who
gonna-
doesn't run.
Stand there and stop. Like,
Right.
that's all you gotta do is take that whole guy out.
That's another thing that really puts me behind the eight ball is when they run that play and they don't bite on the play action. The DBs aren't being drawn away
Right.
because of the fact that the DNs are already there to sack Keenan.
But you know they did in the first two drives. That's how they was able to connect on the long ball and get the touchdowns. But when you stay in the same play, like you said, program reacted, they backed up or did whatever they had to do. They knew it was coming. And like Ross said, even when they ran that jet sweep, it wasn't getting them nothing in the second half because
Yep.
you can't block that DN. It's impossible. So, Ross, what would you tell your quarterback if he kept calling that jet sweep to your side, you knowing you can't get to that tackle? I mean, to the D end. What do you say?
Do something different.
Do something else?
I don't care what it is. Do something
Right.
different.
Yeah.
You just
Something.
can't run it the same side. To the same
Yeah.
person.
Run it right.
Everything else
Try
is
right
different.
side.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, at least run right side. Switch it up a
Yeah,
little
because
bit.
we watched, so when we watched the game, they ran it the same side
Every time.
every time.
Every time.
You're right. So if they would have switched it up,
If that's what you want to do, at least. I mean, we've all played Madden, right?
yeah,
It was a single mouse button, and the whole play just flipped.
flips. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
At least just flip
You
it
have
if
to
you're
have
gonna
a
run.
mobile- You have to have a mobile quarterback
To
to
do
that.
like just
I mean, you're doing all these jet sweeps, but you're
Right.
picking it up. So you're either looking for the slant or
right.
you're looking for that first. Those are your
There
first
was-
two options.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
But was Keenan healthy?
I didn't know that.
Because I seen him
Yeah.
not run the week before.
There was bad snaps too.
The bad
Yeah,
snaps.
there's a lot off
And
the
that
ground.
goes back to the offensive line play where they've struggled at all season.
Yeah.
Centers are hard to find.
Centers are hard
Believe
to find.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So
True good center that can snap and block.
correct. Most important play of the game, right? The center is the most important on any team. He controls the ball every play. Every play.
I can make a good case for it. No, I'm not a center.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people hate it.
to
but
play.
If you can play center, you have a starting job anywhere in the league.
Exactly.
Any team.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Any team.
But
I mean,
Speaking
ADR
of
played
that-
4 this year.
Warriors are always looking for a good center
Here it
that can
comes.
snap
Here comes
and
the
block
local
at
ad.
the same time.
We'll be back. We have a commercial break. Warriors
I
sponsor.
need to
Warriors
time this.
flag
15
football.
seconds. 15 seconds. You got
Sponsored
2 more.
by Warriors Flag Football.
That was number 6.
If you can snap and block at the same time, please,
Yep, you got a spot.
you got a spot.
All right.
Don't
Number-
just talk about it, be about it.
Hold on. Let's finish the Spartans real quick.
And
So
we're back.
what do they need? So obviously they have all the skill guys. They have
they need trenches.
they need trenches
They need some dogs.
because they had the skill guys. They had some fast guys. They had guys that
Yeah.
could cover. They had
Take what they're giving you. Step away from the deep ball, pause, and just.
yeah. That's
Take
Keenan's got to
what they're
work
giving
on that. He's got to watch
You
his
have
film.
Will, you have Thad. I don't know the other wide receivers, but those are your 1 and 2 options. However order you put them, bang bang. they
Thad
have
should
it.
get a comeback or a slant once every 3 plays because he's got a big body. You're not gonna build. I mean, it's gonna be hard. That should be your go-to play.
Yeah.
That should be a decoy. That should be your first look. Boom. That'll give you even acknowledging that you're gonna throw it to Thad. Now you open it up for everybody else.
Before we leave them though, let's. I'm glad Weezy got to come back in the league, man. That's
Yeah.
there's been a lot of people coming
yeah.
back from injuries this year. I'm glad to see him finally back playing.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
He came back quick though, because he got injured after I got injured.
Yeah.
He came back same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, like I said, I'm glad to see him back. So,
Number 6 on this countdown is the program, a team that you can look at this season and say, what a mess it was. The offense wasn't effective. The defense wasn't effective. They just weren't much of anything. Ricky struggled at quarterback most weeks. The defense gave up a lot more than normal. It seemed like they were never on the same page.
right.
And then Ant Smith comes in and turns around the whole offense.
Yeah.
In fact, puts a whole new energy, enthusiasm to this program offense that had not been seen since
Right.
Adam and McKinley had tore it up 3 seasons ago.
I think Ant was Ricky is a really good quarterback,
Yes.
but they had no linemen in those games that he played in. I mean, they was out there playing with just random ass people, 9 and 10 people in those first couple games of the season.
They didn't have
That
default.
game against
He was
us,
out.
I felt
Right. So
bad for him.
Ricky didn't have
That was
much
the
of a
worst.
chance out there those first handful of games of the season. Ant gave him a better opportunity because of his legs.
Yeah.
So that was the right move for that team. You know, props to Ricky. How many guys would
Yeah, it was still
and
playing.
wasn't upset about it? I mean, he had an
Yeah,
interception in the game. He was running the ball.
What game did I film?
Ricky has heart.
It was programming against somebody. Which one was it, Blazer?
I think no, it was against us.
Was it
where
against you guys?
he-
It
the
was.
snaps.
It was.
Yeah,
That's what I was
it
saying. The snaps were so
yeah.
bad that he had to step into it.
He was literally
It was
running
like-
over here and
I
like
felt
calling
bad.
the snap
Yeah.
like this, and then just kind of chucked it. Cause I mean, what else you gonna do?
You know, Lance had like 5 or 6 sacks that game. After the game, Lance goes, "I'm not even proud of what happened today," because Ricky was literally catching the ball.
Lance said that.
Yeah,
He talks.
and because he was actually upset that he didn't play hard because Ricky, the snaps were so bad they was taking Ricky right into him. Like he didn't even work for his sacks, and he was actually like he was disappointed because you know he don't talk much, but he says it real low. Like, "Oh man, I sucked today. I didn't do anything." I'm like, "Dude, you had 5 sacks." He goes, "I didn't deserve any of them because that's how bad the snaps were."
Yeah.
So so the right move was Ant Smith with the line that they had, so he could use his legs. Ricky, being a team player, still play running back, receiver, linebacker, safety. I mean, that dude can play any position. So, and props to Ant for coming in and not using Ricky either. You know what I mean? He used him to his skill set. And not too many quarterbacks would even pay attention to do that kind of stuff. So, Ant had a hell of a season. You could tell he watches film and he's actually learning. Because to be a good quarterback, you got to know your personnel and know how to use them and know what they can do. If you can do that, the game will come easy.
Yeah. And that's something that we're going to see how that offense grows even further next season. Because Ant only played 3 games.
Right.
At quarterback.
Right.
He had limited time. Imagine what he could have done against, say, Broad Axe or X-Dogs or even Ruckus.
Yeah.
Maybe the difference between them being an A team or a B team.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But you know,
We'll see.
we talked this much about the program, and one guy always gets left off. Gary. God damn, that guy's so good.
G-Money.
Nobody talks
it.
about him. You know, he don't run his
Dude.
mouth. He don't talk trash.
Yeah.
But this dude just comes up with amazing plays game after game. Hands.
Catch.
Absolutely
Hey.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hands.
I'll put him over me.
I even
Hands,
told some of
I
you
swear.
guys that were there watching the game.
Yeah.
I remember I think it was after their first touchdown. It might have been their second one. Ricky Miller threw the ball to him on the sideline. And he literally just caught it with one hand at the point of the ball, like the hardest catch I've
Yeah.
ever seen. He just kept talking while he did it. It was just
It's
like,
normal.
and then just kept talking like it was nothing.
Yeah, I'll say this. Like, I'm not going to bring up Mayo from our team.
Crazy.
I'm not going to use him because he played in the league. Obviously, we know his hands are. But let's just take him out of it. Dude, Dude, Gary might have the best hands in the league.
Yeah, I can't catch it.
I mean, always with his hands. I've never seen a pass hit his body. Like you said, even when he's warming up, hands. So we got to give that guy some love because nobody ever does.
Big facts. Big facts. Gary deserves a lot of love, and truthfully, a lot of love to this program team for how they finished the season. They could have easily buckled down. They said they could have phoned in the B bracket, but they came out there. They played hard. They got the win. And honestly, you can say what you want about the trophy itself, but trophy's a trophy. That's good for recruiting.
What
It
trophy?
is earned. They could take that B bracket championship. And
Yeah, but what trophy?
Yeah.
What trophy?
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
So did anybody ever find out? What I mean?
Yeah, can we get an answer on that? Did the program ever find the trophy? Because Default was telling me on live that during the ADR X Dogs game,
we
that they
need
lost the
answers before the
Joey
show's
said,
over.
Joey said that's some shit the program would do.
Yeah.
So what?
What?
What does that even mean?
We don't know the program long enough to know that answer.
Is that why 3 of them showed up at the Warriors tent over there on the X-Dog sideline?
They was looking for it.
Is that they came to our tent looking for their damn trophy?
Yeah.
I thought they were just kind
Bullshit.
of coming to
Bullshit.
hang out.
God, they wanted a beer.
Get some meat.
When the niggas are missing
They
stuff.
really thought we stole the trophy.
Somebody stole the trophy. Like, who the hell would steal the trophy though?
Not us.
Don Brown might have took it. Maybe he was upset.
Oh my!
That would
At
have
this
been
time,
wild.
that
That
means they
would've
don't have it yet.
That would have been
They
wild.
still don't know where the trophy's at.
Oh, they don't know. They answered.
Oh, I gave you some.
No
Live.
comment at
Yes,
this
yes,
time.
live.
Oh man, y'all wildin'. Y'all lost the trophy.
We're not doing
So
that.
they didn't win nothing. They didn't even win. B bracket championship was forfeit.
Bye-bye.
Is it really a championship win if you have nothing to show
You got
from it?
nothing to show for it. Oh,
Nah,
man.
Ant said he gave it to Lie.
Listen.
So Lie has it. All
We need
right.
a picture to prove it.
We need a picture. We need Lie to come on here and show that he
Yeah,
has the trophy.
Before the end of the show, we need to know what's up with this B bracket trophy.
I've never heard of that one. They lost the trophy.
That's one for the books.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Number 5 is a team that honestly I thought would have actually finished a little bit higher with how they were playing mid-season. I'm talking about Ruckus.
Ruckus.
There was 3 for a while.
They were still looking pretty for a bit. Ruckus with TJ at quarterback this year really stepped it up and played to a higher level than where they normally play on offense. This is a team who historically has an inept offense. They don't tend to move the ball very well.
Yeah.
They've cycled through quarterbacks, whether it be Scotty Scott or Steven Renner or even your guy Frank Carter.
Frank Hart, yeah. Frank played there. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Even your guy, John Show, played for Ruckus.
Damn.
Alright. So did Zabir.
Zabir. I'm talking quarterbacks.
Quarterback.
though.
Okay.
Quarterbacks. Take the quarterbacks.
I was getting ready to start rolling, but
I know you're about to start rolling.
Did we
but
wait?
anyways.
Quarterbacks? Did we count Joe Edwards?
Yes,
Is he
because
off?
Joe Edwards did play quarterback for Ruckus against
Against
Mayhem.
us.
There it is.
No, against ADR.
Yeah,
Week 1.
Yeah.
ADR too.
There it is.
ADR and
He
Mayhem.
used to play there too.
So how did he end up? He played with them week 1. Did he play with y'all in the playoffs, or did he stay with Ruckus the whole season in the spring?
When did Joe join you? That's what he's
Fall.
asking. Fall.
This season.
Okay, I was wondering because I knew he
Yeah.
played. I just don't remember seeing him
Yeah.
at the end of the year last year on Ruckus. That's why I was asking. All right,
But anyways,
Ruckus.
Can-
They have, dude. They have so much talent over there.
they really do.
And this is the only thing I've ever. I even ask them during their games, who the hell runs this team? And because they're subs, and the people just running in and off the field. You got players during the game, during the plays, changing shit. So the D line's not connected to the secondary. When they come off, they're talking about it. They need a coach.
You can hear it on live.
Right. Yeah, when they walk off after the play, you
You
hear
can hear it
people
on
yelling, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that?" Like, they're changing shit during the plays. They have the players. They have the talent. They need to either get a coach or get a offensive and defensive captain who just calls everything. And if TJ's our guy, let him run the offense, which they did that this year.
for years I've been under the impression the offense is ran by Dustin while the defense is ran by Rupert. That's what I've gotten based off of that.
Right. Well,
That's what I picked up on. It's just a question of does it really work? Is it effective enough to keep
Without
it going?
realizing, Flag, whoever's your quarterback has to run the offense.
yeah.
100%.
I mean,
I agree.
I done tried to call some shit.
Agree.
And it's not it. Just
No,
let the
I agree.
quarterback run his offense.
Give him the keys because he's the one driving the car ultimately.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the only way you can. That's the only way it works.
Because of, right.
That's
A
the only way it
quarterback-
works. It's not gonna, like,
Yeah.
unless you have a coach that's like the person that's the quarterback is underneath that coach.
Yeah, unless you got somebody
That's it.
standing there
Yeah, like
watching plays that knows how to run an offense.
it's
Other
like
than that,
bias
you
or
give
nothing.
You let the quarterback run the offense.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I feel like if they do run with TJ next spring, they really have a shot at winning this league as a dark horse. Keyword dark horse. A
If
team you don't suspect.
if they can improve, get some players. They still need some players. They still need some players. They have a lot of talent. They need some players. They need a fast receiver. Right now, they have all possession guys.
Mm-hmm.
You got all possession guys. You need somebody to take the
That's
top
true.
off the defense, especially if TJ's your quarterback. He plays spread kind of like we do.
Yeah.
So you need for TJ to get running lanes. You can't have all possession receivers. So you have to have one guy that can just run a seam, and that safety has no choice but to run back with it.
You gotta respect it.
You got to respect it. And then now you got Dustin coming underneath for the slants, or Dehaney coming underneath for the slants. Right now you can play pretty much tight man against Ruckus because none of their receivers are going to beat you deep. So they definitely need some type of speedster to improve the offense. And defensively, they got to play some man-to-man every once in a while and stop playing the same zone defense the whole game. They since I've been in this league, what's Rupert that's his name, right?
The safety / kicker, yeah.
I mean, to me, it looks like he's damn punt returner because he's 50 yards deep in the damn middle of the field all the time. So they got to change that defense up. He's got, you can't play that same damn cover 3. It's just not going to work. Right now, this league, talent-wise and skill-wise and thought process-wise, these teams, you might used to be able to run the same shit against a team, but if you do that now to any team in this league, they're going to figure it out and beat you.
Yeah.
I mean, teams are watching they're watching you, Joey Blaze. They're watching your highlights
Yep.
and learning what they're doing. They're even watching game film on the team they're playing next week.
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder, so these teams are trying to get better. So you cannot play the same coverage every game, every week. You're not going to win that way.
Big facts. Absolutely facts. And that's something I feel like a lot of teams underestimate is you have to be different every week. You have to change your approach, your philosophy, your style sometimes.
Right.
No matchup's ever going to be the same, and no team will play you the same way as the team before.
Ross, who's their best person on O-line this year for Ruckus?
On the O-line?
Yeah.
Rockets.
Did their O-line have a good season? From you watching them.
Shoot.
Because they was their strength when we played them in the championship. That was their strength, their O-line.
Last fall, yeah.
Last fall. So did their O-line go up or down since then?
Their O-line was inconsistent too.
Inconsistent now, right?
Just like Broadaxes, but everybody's on here saying X-Dogs and Broadax have the 2 best O-line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruckus was inconsistent too, though. So
I thought they was too. I didn't think their line played very well. this
kind
year.
of rotated. They had.
I mean, center wise, I know TJ he was chasing a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
And I think they played a couple different centers this
You
year,
got
right?
Danny.
They were using Scott.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got Danny and Scott.
Danny Scott, Coop.
Coop was inconsistent this year though.
Who had a good season?
Danny
for
and
Ruckus?
Scott for Ruckus O-line. You have to give
Dehaney
it to Danny and
was
Scott.
doing a better one as the year went along. Like once him and TJ started connecting is when he
Okay.
stood out a bit. He had 3 against Broadax, I think, scores.
Yeah. I thought
Um,
B. Michael played good this year too.
yeah, B Mike.
I thought he rushed well. He pulled flags well.
Pete Mike.
Dustin actually played well on offense for them this year.
Okay.
Like I'll give him props. He
He
played
did.
well.
Yeah.
Outside of that, offensively speaking,
TJ.
TJ, yeah,
TJ had a monster year.
yeah. We mentioned TJ earlier though.
Yeah.
We covered TJ,
Yeah, but I thought we were talking about Ruckus offense.
Yeah, Ruckus
It
offense.
was,
Yeah.
it was TJ.
but that's a valid point still. But yeah,
It was TJ.
TJ played good all year long. Playoffs, he just didn't have it for whatever reason. I didn't. I thought after the way they beat Broadax and played Broadax, their offense would have been a lot better against Broadax's defense in that playoff game. What they scored? What was the score of that?
14-6.
So they scored 6 points.
Then you know what a big difference Dehaney made. Dehaney had 3 touchdowns that first game.
Right, and he wasn't there, right?
Wasn't there. And in the final score of that first game, 34-14, 3-score difference. Without Dehaney,
Okay.
Ruckus lost. Is that a big? Does that tell you a lot
so
about Dehaney?
Dehaney's the guy. Yeah.
It might be Dehaney. I mean, you take him out of that offense, suddenly they're not as effective.
And I think it's kind of what we talked about earlier. TJ didn't have no room to run because he didn't have nobody to take the top off.
Yeah. And when
Wow.
you think about it,
Now that you sit there and you think about why they couldn't score in that
Yeah.
game.
and I think it happened because I think that was the day Dehaney's kid was born. Just timing.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations, Dehaney.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Congratulations, man. That's huge.
Yeah. Big shout out to Dehaney.
Yeah.
More life.
But overall, for Ruckus going forward, if they are to succeed, I feel like they should stick with TJ and what they did toward the end of this season. Just make sure you have all this. Just gotta hope all the guys are there come playoff time because they got snake bit by timing. You know, they lost to
Yeah.
Haney for the day, and it showed with how ineffective their offense was.
It was 2 bad calls, but
2 bad calls
Yeah,
too.
2 bad calls. But that was against
1.5.
that was against their defense though. So it still had nothing to do with their offense
Yeah.
moving the ball.
You dropped from 34 points the first meeting to 6
6.
points the second. That's a
Yeah.
big
Big
drop.
drop.
Number 4 on the countdown is a team called the Warriors. Ross, y'all had a nice little start to the season. I remember you were very joyous that weekend when you beat ADR for the first
They
time.
won championship week 1.
It's just simply not true. We had a damn good season after that too, in case anybody forgot.
You did.
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
You guys had your best season ever. Offensively, you ended up finishing the year with 18.12 points per game, which does not sound that impressive on paper, but it was the 4th highest overall
Take it.
in the league.
Hell
For
yeah.
the
Compared
season.
to what we usually are, I'll take that.
Compared to the usual 10 or 11 you put up, yeah.
Yep.
You guys improved on that side of the ball significantly compared to recent years. Defensively, 9.5 points per game surrendered. The margin overall,
Great
about
season.
can't take anything away from you guys. You guys had a great regular season. It's just you ran into the worst possible draw come postseason, and that was ADR.
These sons of bitches.
That was the draw they wanted, though, right?
It was.
You go
That's the one
back,
you wanted.
At least most of us did.
right? Yeah, half the team won. Yeah,
Some of us seem to kind of maybe not. I don't know.
half the
Well,
team showed up thinking y'all was playing that week 1 team.
I don't know if I agree with that.
We just hit him with something different.
Yeah,
Like, that was the game when we finally came out with, like, running
Yeah.
screens.
Yep.
yeah. We
Yeah,
came
on the
out,
show,
did
yeah.
other shit. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to prepare for a team when
Boom
you
was
haven't
fully
seen.
back at quarterback.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
healthy.
You haven't got to watch. You don't know what they're gonna come with. That was the whole mystery. Like, who the fuck are they coming with?
but I mean,
So
let's
it's trying to
talk
figure
about this recruitment
But no, yeah.
Ross has been doing.
Enough.
One.
Yeah,
that he
enough
did
about
his-
ADR. We're
Shout
talking
out to the
about
show.
the Warriors
Yeah,
right
shout
now.
out
Yeah,
to the
that's
show.
that's why I went back
That's
to
what he's
you.
saying, man.
Yeah.
Recruiting. Who you
I mean,
so-
Jesus,
What?
he's got all the airtime. I mean, he gets 15 seconds every couple
Yeah,
minutes.
It's been working.
I will continue to do that.
Will they be
I want to
back?
know.
Will they be back?
Will you guys be back next season? Will there
Oh,
be
100%.
Warriors?
Will it be the majority of the guys? I mean, we know your core.
What made?
But
I got a
new
question
guys,
for you,
new
Ron.
guys, new
The
guys.
core has always been there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the best part about week 1. The core is what truly beat AR.
What
week
one? Yeah,
one.
your O line, your D line.
We only had
yeah.
about 14, 15 people,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
which
A lot
was
of
our
C4
core and
being
then a
passed
couple
around.
added guys. Like
Right.
it was the first time I ever saw Ashton Mercer. Was he was
But-
running
but
out
you
to the
know that-
field, and I was like, "Who's this guy? Welcome to." And then
Yeah.
I think he went out and got an interception. I was like, "Well, welcome to the team,
Welcome
buddy."
to. What's your name, by the
Good
way?
to see you. You know, so that's kind of how the season went. But
I think
I'll
that
take
week 1 game win helped you recruit.
yep,
I mean, everybody started.
we had the
Jumping
game
ship.
where all
They
misfits
did raise
just
the
kind of
profile.
randomly showed up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Because I
lie.
had something going on.
They were all. Next thing I know, I turn around and there's a bunch of people on my sideline. They're all like, "We're gonna play for you today," and I'm like,
Like,
"Would have been nice to know this before this moment right here, about 5 minutes before this game starts." But you know, here we go. We're gonna rock with it.
damn.
And so you
Yeah.
did.
And
You
some
did.
of those people, that was the only game they showed up for.
Oh wow.
And then some of them kept coming back.
Regardless
It
of
was-
the fact,
it was
a wild
still,
season for us, too.
You still,
I'll take
Higher.
our season, man.
yeah, you
Yeah.
still progress. Like,
I ain't
From where
mad-
you started
I
out to this season.
ain't mad about it one bit.
yeah.
6-2 is pretty good compared to where the Warriors were 3 falls ago when they first started out in this league.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. We literally started from the bottom.
And now you're here.
Now we're here.
Started from the
Yeah.
bottom.
Spring season, here we come.
They got a good core.
So do you have your guys coming back?
Pieces.
My God.
You got Zeke. You got Mac.
Polo.
Do you have the guys that not your core? Or are they still coming back?
100% have Mac. I
Okay.
can tell you that for a fact.
Right. Mac coming over helped change y'all's team too.
Yep.
Gave you a little bit of speed. Polo.
Polo's here to stay, I feel like. You never
This
know,
is like
man.
his second season, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, this is his second season, I'm sure.
You've been here for a minute.
So what was the best thing about your team this season? O-line, D-line, secondary? What was the best aspect of y'all's team this season?
Even if it's leadership.
The best aspect of this team this season, as always, was defense, period.
Defense. Yeah.
Period.
Zabir's
Would you
a
say
monster.
DB?
D-line
out there.
Would you
eats.
say DB or D-line?
Defense, period.
Defense. They go
Yes,
hand
sir.
in hand.
I'm not
If I'm judging the whole season as a whole, defense,
Yep.
period. There was times where we were kind of short on D-line, our DB stepped up and ate. There was times where our D-line, as usual, ate.
8.
There's more times where D-line ate than DB.
Right.
Yeah, it all works together.
I mean, if I had to be 100% honest, D-line eats. Where's D-line? Everybody knows it.
Where's D-line?
I don't know why y'all want to act like it ain't true.
Let's do the sound bites.
Hey,
Warriors D-line eats. They always have ever since we showed up here.
Right.
I feel like there's one thing the Warriors have always been known for was
That's a good
D-line.
D-line. I agree with that.
Am I wrong, Blazer?
No, you're not wrong. Your defensive line has always been the biggest strength of your team, and truthfully, if you guys maintain that core there, you'll always be in contention.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep building around it. That's going to be the biggest step you take.
I will say this, if you want me to compare the two, D-line is always eaten. This was probably the best DB core we've ever had.
Yeah.
Our DB core A too. So that's why I said defense.
And
period.
give Tyler credit too, because he's an old smart vet.
Yep.
Had y'all
Yep.
had the secondary in good positions.
Yep.
He knew where to put people.
Between him and Moats running that D,
Yeah. Couple
I'm
smart
a-
guys,
I am
veterans.
fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
So
Them two working together on defense, I don't have to worry about defense.
I think Sean Moose is the heart.
Yep, he is.
I mean, like, not saying that I don't have heart. I'm just saying he's like heartbeat.
There's a reason why when Mo showed up here, I pretty much almost automatically signed him as a captain of defense, gave him that role.
people
And let
respect him.
him do
People
his
like
thing.
him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He plays hard every play.
He's been playing for a while.
Right, that's what I said. He's a vet.
He's been playing this league for a very long time.
So if you have, as long as you got Tyler on the back end, him up front, communication would be real good. Leadership would be real good. Warriors are only getting better. Offensively, quarterback-wise, is Foster coming back? Because he could be a really good quarterback in this league. He just needs more time.
Yep.
I mean, he got thrown out there pretty... Not that he got thrown out there, but he didn't even play quarterback for his other travel team. So, when you go a period of time without playing quarterback and then...
Well, that's the thing with the Warriors, too. I don't think we've played a full season with one quarterback at the helm the whole season.
Oh, wow.
Injury,
Right, whatever it is.
Whatever it may be.
Okay.
I don't think we have.
I think
Show may have done it for a full season, but I don't think he's gotten a full season either.
I've been in the league, when I was keeping stats, Show was not the only quarterback you had because there was multiple guys that either had touchdown passes and stuff like that. So
I don't think
I can't think of their names.
Show has to be the closest to it between him and Cody, but I know Cody Snavely is the king of us throwing him in a QB and telling him we've exhorted every other option. Here you go, and he will perform. And he knows that. He says it all the time.
Right.
He's like, I am the guy. Like,
yeah.
When it comes down to it, we'll try other things. And Foster did step up and play good at QB this year. That's why we stuck with him. Yeah. If he wants to come back and play QB next season.
But, every team needs players like that. Because I know our kickers play center sometimes.
Right.
Or our other kicker will play DB sometimes if you need them to. So, you got to have guys that can play multiple things.
Speaking of that, we have the best kicker in the league. Period.
There you go.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
We're the best kicker in the league.
He...
At this point in time, what?
He's in the talks for MVP.
Yeah. I mean, he won y'all multiple games.
Team-wise.
No, and I'm not all the...
Right.
Fucking corn dog.
Right.
All the jokes aside. All the jokes aside.
Whatever, man.
We don't care what
he won y'all multiple games.
Whatever, man.
He won y'all multiple games this season.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get it.
He's been doing it since he got here.
Right.
Like I said, he's kept us from, at the very least, getting shut out. Where y'all start posting donuts on the fucking page and all this.
Yeah.
At the very least, he's preventing us from doing that.
Yeah.
We have the best kicker in the league.
And a field goal changes field position, changes momentum.
So the only other argument I've ever heard for it was Fox, and I haven't seen him kick in this league for a while. So we have the best kicker in the league at this point in time, period.
Yeah.
If not. For
Maybe
quite a while now.
I mean, he didn't talk so much fucking shit. He's a shit-talking kicker.
He's a kicker. He's a kicker that'll get in your head. I have no problem.
I know he got under Rampage's skin back in York.
He is good at being a kicker.
He's good. Yeah, he's good at being a kicker. And I've actually seen him rev somebody up, and he gets a roughing the kicker call.
Yep.
Because he's got in their head. He's talking shit to him, and they want to hit him.
X-Dogs don't like him because he had a flop.
Yeah, he flopped that
the Shippensburg tournament.
But he was talking shit to him.
He got the call though.
Yeah.
Did the same thing to Rampage back in York.
Yeah, he got to him.
Yeah.
Except that he almost started a brawl in that joint.
All right, moving on. So we were what, number 4?
4.
We got 3.
Number 3, Broad Axe. Arguably.
Only because they won a playoff game, correct?
They won a playoff game.
And they beat us.
And they lost by less points.
And they beat us. Okay.
And they beat you guys.
In the second round, their point differential was better.
Yeah. So Broad Axe gets 3. And let me tell you, what a rookie season for Timmy Townsend.
Yep.
This kid, fresh out of high school, about 18 years old, came out there this year, and he absolutely played. He balled out. He took a Broad Axe team that still has a lot of its core left from that 2017 squad and elevated it to a level where they were competitive enough to compete for a championship, where you wondered after Kevin Clancy who was going to take over the helm at quarterback.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Boone, on this resurgent Broad Axe offensive Timmy Townsend? And of course, we can't forget about Noah Hamburg as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention him. To me, that was like a combo. I feel
It
like
was.
they showed up together. I feel like I don't think you would have had one without the other. I
I'm
feel
pretty
like.
sure they did.
Yeah. So being that young, I feel like they came in together. This is all Tom, man. This is all on Tom. This whole season, I thought since I've been in the league, I thought this was his best season. And of course, I don't know how he was years past. I've always heard he's really great lineman, good lineman, but when you actually bring in a rookie quarterback, 18, 19-year-old, you're the center, them two communicate, I feel like Tom guided this team through there. I know Timmy's getting a lot of the credit, but I guarantee you half of what Timmy did was on Tom. Helping him with the plays, stuff like that. So
you got to show him the game. He's coming.
He's never right.
Flag.
He's coming from tackle football to flag. So somebody's got to show him what to do, tell him what to do.
And he didn't look stiff in pocket. Like he didn't look like
right.
He was stuck in football.
So I feel like this is on. I think Tom did a hell of a job with him this season.
Yeah.
Of course, the kid's going to grow on his own and be better and better each season. But I feel like this season, this was all on Tom. I think Tom did a hell of a job. But they're core pieces, right? You got the big tight end, you got the running back. They got the pieces, they got the young talent. I'm excited to see this team moving forward.
I am too.
Noah gives them that raw, young, hungry.
I like it.
I mean? Like he
The
still has
one
a lot
thing
to
he
learn.
has to learn,
Yeah.
one of the things he has to
That's
learn
right.
is to not listen to the other sideline.
Yeah, he has
Talk to
work
the people
on
on the
it.
field.
When the whole sideline is talking shit to you, whatever.
Like that play against
Yeah.
X-Dogs, that was bad.
Oh,
Just
you're talking
go
about
back and ball. Yeah,
That was-
no.
yeah,
Just go
no,
back
he
and
should
ball.
have
Hit him with a
That's
whole
it.
veteran
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, he did.
It did. He worked
Yeah.
him.
He's young, but he balls out.
He
And he
does.
balls
Noah
both
and
sides
Timmy
of the.
both ball.
Yeah, I seen him make plays.
They both
But
ball
you
out.
know,
He put me
Noah
on
balled both sides of the
He
field,
does.
though.
Yeah.
O and D.
I
Yeah.
remember that one deep bomb early in the season. I
Yeah,
forget
I
who it
seen
was
that.
against. I remember watching it. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
He took off, man.
Yeah, he's fast.
It's there. They're young, but time to develop.
They're young. Like I said, they need
And so
some
he
time.
wants to prove himself. Like his trash, you can tell by
It's
his
like
trash.
Broadac's new
It
age.
was just like,
Broadac's new age.
yeah. They got a lot of vets. The DBs.
Their O line
vets.
was inconsistent.
I mean, just
though.
like everybody.
Their O line wasn't
If
consistent.
we're being totally honest, Kendall came to a couple games. Tivis was either late or didn't show up.
He's always on time when it comes
Late,
to the
didn't
live.
show up.
When it
He's
comes
always
to
on time
live,
with
he's
live.
always
He's
on
back.
time.
I mean, he has time.
Or he wanted to play defense.
Yeah, or he wants to play
He got
defense.
time.
Let's be honest.
Let's
Tivis
be
was
honest.
either late or he didn't show up.
Big man wasn't.
Tom obviously was on time, ready to go. Tom is your consistent center.
He was consistent. He was there every week, helped
Yeah.
guide his team.
Like we said, centers are hard to
Shit,
find.
Sean
You
was out
got
there
Tom
a lot
there
of times.
centering. But around him, I'm pretty sure I saw Ridenour and then whatever mix they had on the other
Yeah.
side for one game was inconsistent.
Well, we all know like what they have like to look forward to.
Still
What
worked
they have to
out. but it's
change?
inconsistent.
And I have to correct myself from earlier. They have to change. They got to get DBs. They have linebackers playing DBs. They have players who don't play DB playing DB.
Yes,
When
they
get-
need
when
they,
get
need a
those-
defense.
Yeah, that's their weak point. They're running cover 2. Like that's not going to do it in flag.
You know, their linebackers
That's not gonna
good.
be fun.
Rittenauer's a monster. Jimmy can still play,
Yeah,
But he
Jimmy-
needs help though.
but he needs help.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
is
what I
one of the
mean.
most underrated
you
players.
get lost in
Yeah.
the conversation of what Jimmy brings to that team.
You
because
want to talk
they
about
don't-
Broadax and underrated players.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely one of the silent assassins.
Jimmy, yeah.
He doesn't get credit as he should.
And you know, another thing is on when you're watching the games, you're like, man, Jimmy just got beat. Jimmy just got beat. This
Probably
dude was
covering
helping
two
out.
guys. Yeah,
It
he
wasn't
probably
even his
covering two
guys.
guys.
Like
Yeah.
he was coming over from the other side
Right.
trying to help out. So they definitely need.
Yeah.
Man, they need to revamp the whole. I mean, the offense.
I mean, look,
Future looks bright.
He doesn't have Chazo, Zeke,
Yeah.
Leaky. He ain't got
Right.
none of them.
Yeah.
None of them's on the team anymore. So he's just
Noah
out there,
at
like,
corner.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Broadax, their future looks good on offense. Defense,
Can
definitely
we say the
needs
future
fixed.
looks good as Tom and Kendall though get older?
but
who's gonna back them up?
but it's like it's
That's
like
the big question.
they got to do some
Because you
recruiting
got
on
to
that
think
aspect.
Tom is about to be 38, 39 entering next year. That's pretty
Yeah.
old for an offensive lineman. Kendall's in his
I mean,
40s
for a
already.
flag
Right.
in this league, it's not.
but if they're doing what they want to
playing
do,
at top level.
Still playing
Yeah.
top level, but age can hit any moment. We've seen
It
it
can.
happen at other
Yeah.
levels.
but
I mean, I
Ross
feel like
said
at
it
this
best.
point, if someone falls on you,
Yeah.
I feel like they'll be.
But Ross said it best. Those guys wasn't there. Tom was the only consistent one, so
True.
it's not like they can't do it without the tackles, because basically they was missing them all year.
Yeah.
So I think if Tom can recruit, you got the skill guys. I figure he can probably find with his, because don't he know a lot of the high school kids apparently?
Former high school football coach.
Right, exactly. So I'm pretty sure he can pull some young guys here or there.
And I think he's already
Yeah,
done
do
that.
college.
Timmy Townsend, product of South
Right.
High, Noah Hamburg,
Right.
Williamsport High School around here.
Yeah. And the thing is, so, you know, with everybody is AAU style shit now, all of these high school rivalries they're all friends now. So now they know Noah. They know Timmy. They're like, shit, they're playing? Yeah, I'll come play. So I feel like Tom can, I feel like he can keep growing and growing
Oh, yeah.
with his team.
He could definitely, in recruiting, he's got the biggest advantage for anybody in this league.
They got the resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have the resume. They won 10 titles or whatever, so he can do it.
For sure, for sure. As we move on to number 2 on the list, that is the X-Dogs. And the X-Dogs, they had a good regular season. They stuck it out. They went undefeated.
Yeah,
The defense
they had a
played
lot of
very
close
well.
games.
They did. They played a lot of close games, but the defense played extremely well. The offense actually, I believe, finished first place. They were finished in both categories. Now that I remember correctly. Yeah, 22 points on offense, 9 on defense, plus 13 overall. Easily the best team of the season on the regular season.
Yeah.
But in the postseason, just not the same results. The offense and defense did fine against Broadax.
Does anybody want beer?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You want water or anything?
No, I'm good. Yeah, they played a lot of close games though.
That is the one thing to look at.
They played a lot of
10-7
close
against
games.
Warriors, 12-7 against Ruckus.
Yeah.
They had a 7-point game against the Spartans.
Right.
Brunswick was a blowout, so they didn't play them close, but I think a little more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they got us 35-0 because we only had 7 people.
Yeah.
So that helps this offensive stat line a little
That was
bit.
one thing that skewed it a lot. Yeah, that pushed it up majorly when that happened.
Right. And realistically, their defense carried that team. So you go back to their top games against Broadax and the Warriors and everything like that. They didn't play well offensively. What'd you say? 10 points?
I wouldn't say Broadax, because the Broadax game in the playoff game put up 14, but the Rebs didn't put up 23. Now, if you want to get to the Warriors game, the Ruckus game is a better example. The Ruckus game, they put up 12 points against Ruckus.
Okay, yeah.
And that was Ruckus with Ryan Lockhart
Right.
playing quarterback.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel more like that defense carried their team this year. I mean, there were games where Matt was even taking himself out when he wasn't playing that good.
Yeah, he was putting Isaiah in.
Yeah. And then, you're like, shit, what the hell? And everybody has those days where you just don't have it, but I feel like the defense carried that team. I mean, what Chili and Kinsler and Brady and Judd, whoever else you wanted to add in there, what that D-line did this season, man, that's huge. Monsters. They carried that team.
Yeah. I feel like that defensive line was probably one of the best I've seen ever put together in this league, by far. Chili, Judd, Brady, Kinsler, and you can throw Matt down on the defensive line.
Yeah, he played some D-line. He played some D-line in the championship against us.
Yeah, that is a very deep defensive line group, and
Yeah.
you're right. It did carry them all season.
I think it carried them.
Yeah. because Matt's play a quarterback not exactly the best this season. He did struggle a good bit.
Yep.
But whenever he was on defensive line with the rest of the guys, he came out there and shined.
No, his all-around talent.
Yeah.
Just his skills. I mean, he could play anything you want on the football field. I mean, I'd imagine if you asked Matt, hey, I need you to play center this game, he could probably do it. I have no doubt that he could play in flag. It's 9-on-9. He could play all 18 starting positions, no matter where it was at, whatever you asked him to do, and I believe he could do it.
I think so too. Absolute talent is Eisenberg. Disappointing end for the Dogs this year, but overall they had a very good 2019. This was one of their better years. They went out and did well to City for to start out with, and until injuries hurt them in day 2.
Yeah.
They won Keystone. They went out and got second in county. They had a good 2019. It's just a question of what will we see out of the Dogs in 2020 and what they're going to have come next fall, because we're not going to see them in the spring. However, I'll be seeing them in Keystone next spring.
Right.
Looking forward to seeing what they had to bring to the table there. They've definitely added a lot of talent since they started playing up there. It's just a question of how much will they keep growing.
Yeah. Well, X-Dogs need some. I mean, what do you think, Ken? I think they need some more
Speed.
receiver. Yeah.
Speed. I was just thinking that just really speed. I mean, the guys that they had,
I think they need more speed in the
and,
DB area.
and nowhere to be
Okay.
at. Even on both sides. At least one on offense.
Yeah.
And then
Matt's got the
however
possession,
many you
guys.
need on DB, at DB.
Yeah.
It's really speed.
Well,
I mean,
they
have the IQ to be where they're supposed to be. Speed.
Yeah. Get some, but you know, I don't really see them doing a
more,
lot of recruiting.
More of a DN or
No,
offensive
I mean,
line.
no,
How
because
good? So
you still got your major guys that are on defensive end.
Right.
I mean, on your defense that's playing top notch and then have to play offensive line.
you know, with Kinsler and Brady, you know, they're up for their promotions at work and stuff like that. Are they even going to be there come spring? You know, so what? They don't really add because they're more of a family unit. So where can the X-Dogs go from here? Can they go up? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Was this, like you said, how good is their 2020 going to be? Because this year was like, this might have been their best teams that I've seen them have.
Yeah. They did a really excellent job this year, and they... Go
I
ahead.
feel like they've had the same team, but they finally found the way to use it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've always had the potential and always getting it done. But I think this year was the show.
No, I mean, you
put it
think they
together
added
now.
Chili, they added
Well,
Will, they added the,
They had a McKeon, Tyler McKeon.
Right.
15.
Oh, see, I only knew about
yeah.
Chili. I didn't
So
know about
they
the other
added
guys.
a lot. They added
Him and said
receivers and right, yeah. So they added those type guys. So, but where can you go? You know, can you keep that up? Can you improve on this year? Especially, like I said, what if Kinsler and Brady are out for spring?
True.
Where they go?
We'll find out.
Come on, Ross. You've been talking.
I got nothing for that. Nah, I don't know. X-Dogs are the
They're family, right?
yup.
It was good to see
Keep
Judd
tight
back
knit
out there.
family, closed
That was
on the
definitely
wraps, don't really post too much on this or
Yeah.
that or anything like that. So you just
Rare
never
to-
know.
It's rare to
Never
ever hear
know.
from them, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know what they have until they show up.
So they show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we move on to number 1 in the final power rankings. Of course, we end the year the same way we started it. It's all about the adrenaline rush.
There it is. All
Oh,
about.
what a wild ride they had, eh?
We had a
Started
tough one.
number 1.
Externally, internally.
We was ranked 8th at one point, wasn't we?
Seven.
Seven. Joey, you had us. Joey Blaze, you had us at 7.
Hey, I'm just saying, if that team
7.
came out every week, I wasn't certain you guys would finish above 7 at that point.
7.
It didn't look good early.
Joey.
Hey, Dame said it was a new era for ADR, and I was wondering when that new
He
era.
did come out on the opening week saying it was a new era for ADR. Shit. But it was a wild ride. I mean,
Yeah.
it killed me to sit there and watch some of those games, but I had to get healthy. I had to take that time off. I had to get right. So
This was a growing turning point for us.
Yeah.
Dame, he kept his composure on the field for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
it was week 1, and after that, it was smooth sailing. I mean, as far as on field.
yeah,
That was that. Rosters, it was just a busy time for us. A lot of people. J-Mo had a baby. Shout out to J-Mo.
Mouse had a baby. That's why he
Mouse
missed
had a
some
baby.
games.
J-Mo had a
Milk
baby.
just
Is
had a
that where he's
baby.
been?
Yeah,
we had a couple players that baby. Kato had a baby.
Kato had a baby.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
congrats.
Yeah. We did-
Taylor Loudon had a baby.
Yeah.
Playoff time.
This is about 9 months from last time y'all won a championship or what?
It was celebrating.
I don't plan on celebrating like that no more ever again.
Yeah.
Done with them days.
Yeah, we had like
Championship,
4 or
baby.
5 babies been born to the team.
But the guys, the difference between now and spring, we had guys show up throughout the year. Last spring, we didn't really have a lot of bodies show up. We got to that playoff game against the Warriors. We was short as hell, wasn't we? I mean, and you couldn't play yet. You know, there was no Mouse, no Mayo, no Frank. We were just
No Wayne.
no Wayne. So this season, guys, you know, I give them guys credit, man. Everybody made a point, no matter what they had going on in life, they made it to as many games as they could.
We had some old school originals come out and play.
Yeah,
He was just
yeah.
playing.
I'm gonna say I saw a lot of old faces there I hadn't seen in years.
Yeah, I mean, like Jacob showing up and helping us out, man, that
Jacob
shit's
showed up,
huge.
Miguel, Brandon Hayes came back he tore his Achilles twice.
Twice.
One
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
and right.
Left and
And
right.
still playing at a
Ah.
high level.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so shout out to Holla for coming out. Jacob coming out.
yeah, we needed everybody this year, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I know
It was tough.
guys, you know, most people around the league know our top guys, but some of those other guys, we had Alex show up this year, which changed our whole team. He showed up against Broadax in our last 3 games with him at O-line. That guy's just so good. It changed everything we could do. Everything. It changed our whole game plan on what we could call. So, you know, he was one of our best players at the end of the season. And
We still have improvements.
yeah, we still got work to
We're
do.
not perfect. We call out everybody else's flaws. We have our own flaws. We're not gonna say them because we're not giving out game plans and
Right.
shit. But we have room for improvement. Lots of room.
But you know, got shout out to Mouse, who he had a hell of a season again. Mouse, you gotta learn to talk shit, man. Everybody's getting on me that you silent assassin.
True that.
I had so many people come up to me this year and go, man, that guy just comes out, don't say nothing, runs up a touchdown on us, and you don't even know he's on the field if he didn't score. So gotta talk more shit, Mouse.
I co-signed that.
Yeah, gotta talk more shit.
It does, man, for real.
Somebody.
I know you're saying it. You just gotta say it
Yeah,
out
you
loud.
gotta say it out
man.
loud. You gotta talk more shit.
Please.
You know, and then you can't say enough about Coley. Season he had, Jesus.
Oh man.
Both sides of the field.
Both sides of the ball all season. I mean, realistically, we could have been in the damn B bracket if Mayo didn't show up to as many games as he did, and Coley didn't show up and play all season. Fuck, we could have been in the B bracket without those guys, because CJ missed a game or two throughout the year.
Would have
we
liked
missed
to
one,
see
right?
Coley in that championship
Yeah,
game, though.
Yeah, and Coley needed to be there for that. We wanted him there. You know, things came up, he couldn't be there, but him catching a couple touchdowns that championship game could have capped off one hell of a season
Yeah.
for him, because he
Yup.
played lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Who else played well for ADR all season? AJ balled out all season.
Yeah.
AJ.
Can't forget about AJ.
Yeah.
Like I said, once again, James, he held it down at center. Half
Yeah.
of our season.
Our kicker
Our
played
kicker.
Mm-hmm.
center for 7 games. So, like Ross, gotta get a shout out. We need a center.
Yeah.
Center. Hey, if you play center, you got a spot. You got a
I'm
spot.
just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah.
He came through. He played his role. He didn't come on the team and try to.
Who?
Martin.
Oh yeah, Mark. We talked about Martin and Joseph earlier. Yeah, when we first got on here, we talked about them coming in and just.
Those guys, like we have weapons. We gotta get everybody to come together.
Yeah, I mean we're just like what teams don't realize about us, dude. We don't. I've never thrown to these guys until we get in the game. I don't play with these guys all year long. We all play on separate teams. So actually, when we're playing Washington County games, they're the only games I throw to some of these guys. So that's just not easy. But our guys work hard and come out and play ball, man. Another year, 3-peat.
Can we talk about Boone being the X Factor while Boone sits on the couch? Is that allowed? Boone is the X Factor. I don't care what anybody has to say. Boone is the X Factor for General Russ. Okay.
I think he's the X Factor for any team he's on.
But
He's
true.
just hard to defend.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
He got me a championship.
There you
Something
go. Yeah, championship, Shippensburg. But
Get ready to get another.
realistically, dude, I'm a role player just like all the guys. The only thing is
So modest.
no, I mean the key is every person needs to realize what they're good at and what they're bad at. There's things, believe it or not, I still watch film every week. I go back and watch my old games. I go back and watch the games I lose in, see what throws I can and can't make. I'm still trying to get better. So,
Right.
and our receivers, shit. CJ called me during the week. Hey, what can we do? Why'd we miss this? Why'd we miss that?
Right.
Watch this film.
Well,
So, shit, I'm still trying to get better. So, like I said, I play my role, man. Shit, I'm a role player just like everybody else on this team because I need them to do good. If I can't do it by myself without me throwing it. Sometimes I throw a 5-yard pass that goes for a touchdown. That's not all on me. That's
true.
I help